The Prodigal Journey. Finding my way back to the Supper of the Lamb through my Catholic faith. Excerpt from Chapter 2. The Sounds of Silence. It was a sweltering August day when I found myself standing before the massive gates of my new public high school. A stark contrast to the small, familiar private school I had attended for years. The school, with its sprawling campus and a student body of 1,800, seemed like an overwhelming jungle of youthful energy. During my parochial school years, music had become my solace and my voice, a realm where I found strength and confidence. It was the one place where I didn't feel like an outsider. In high school, I seized upon that confidence and joined several vocal ensembles and began to establish friendships with both sexes. In a world where I often felt voiceless, music gave me something to hold on to, something I could truly call my own. In October of my freshman year, I attended a homecoming bonfire. As a member of the chorus, I was there to help lead the student body in our school fight song. The fire roared against the crisp fall air, and there was an energy that pulsed through the crowd. Excitement, anticipation, and a sense of community I hadn't yet fully grasped. While singing with my classmates was exhilarating, it was the sound of the pep band that captured my heart. The bold, brassy sound reached right inside me and lit a spark. That night, I went home and told my dad I wanted to play the trumpet, just like he had. It wasn't easy. Most of my peers had been playing for several years, and I was coming in late to the game. I threw myself into it with everything I had, starting lessons in December and working tirelessly to catch up. By the following August, I joined the band, playing last chair. By my senior year, I had climbed to co-principal trumpet. That rapid rise felt like discovering a secret world, hidden within the shimmering brass of my instrument. Yet, it came with whispers and sideways glances from those who had spent years perfecting their craft. Their doubt lingered in the air, but I focused on my playing, determined to prove I belonged. My dad supported me wholeheartedly and bought me anything I needed to succeed. I wanted to impress him, to prove I was worthy of his investment and belief in me. But I didn't always show it. I kept my struggles to myself, wanting him to hear only the polished version of my efforts, not the fumbling scales or sour notes I faced in practice. I cherish the memory of playing duets with him, sitting side by side on the edge of my bed, our music blending together in those moments of harmony. Despite my musical achievements, I often felt like a loner. I joined every ensemble, marching band, jazz band, orchestra, and vocal groups, yet I still lingered on the outskirts of social life. During halftime shows, I struggled to keep up with the choreography, always feeling out of sync. Music was my triumph, but it couldn't fully mask the loneliness that clung to me. At church, my faith echoed the same shallowness. Sundays were a routine, not a revelation. I sang in the choir, my voice ringing through the congregation, but my heart wasn't in it. The girls processing to communion drew my attention far more than the solemnity of the Eucharist. The deeper meaning of my faith felt out of reach, like trying to hold on to water as it slipped through my fingers. Then there was Sarah. In October of my senior year, I kissed her, my first kiss. She was a whirlwind of laughter and energy, and for the first time, I felt the stirrings of something more than friendship. We connected through common musical groups, and though our relationship was innocent, it carried a spark that left me both thrilled and terrified. I was scared of truly letting her in, of exposing the vulnerable parts of myself I kept so tightly guarded. As I grew more proficient with the trumpet, I began receiving requests to play at various churches of other denominations. These experiences started to shift my perspective. I saw differences in rituals and traditions, but began to view them as lanes on the same road, all moving toward a common destination. In hindsight, I realize how naive and superficial this view was, a reflection of my own lack of depth in my Catholic faith. My parents, devoted Catholics, assumed my faith matched my outward behavior. I was the good boy, obedient and reliable. But inside, I wrestled with pride, insecurity, and an overwhelming need for validation. My outward achievements, the music, the accolades, were like armor, hiding the inner storm of doubt, longing, and confusion. When I flipped through my yearbook at the end of senior year, I saw a version of myself that looked polished and accomplished. A respected musician, someone who had earned the admiration of my peers. But I knew the truth. Beneath that shiny exterior, I was still searching, still a boy caught between the exuberance of high school life and the silence of my own unanswered questions.